Yo, what is going on, guys? Crypto Vibes here, also known as Crypto. Bringing you guys another video. Today, guys, I am want to tell you guys about another league I've joined, and that is the PBN, the Pokemon Battle Network. So, all the leagues I've uploaded on my channel aren't currently still going on, so I guess I should let you guys know on that pretty soon. But this video, I'm going to just talk about the PBN draft and kind of chill on that. So, coming into this league, it was a 12-man league, and I ended up getting the 6th pick overall, so pretty solid in my opinion. It was a tier-based draft, so obviously your tier 1s, your tier 2s, tier 3s, and all that, with your mega tier and all that. Z rules applied. You could have 2 Z users on your team. You mean they could use pretty much any Z move besides like Z Happy Hour and like any Z move that raises your evasion or anything like that. So coming into with the 6th pick overall, there was a couple things on the board I was interested in picking. Kyurem Black was something I was interested in picking. Mega Scissor was something I wanted to maybe draft, as I've used it in the past. Not Kyurem Black, but I just like Kumaon a lot. But coming into this, I actually saw one that I've used in the UPC at the end of the end of the UPC season, and now in the playoffs with it, and it's been very good for me so far, or solid for me, I should say. But I really want to get a better chance to use it throughout a whole season around a team I've built. So with that being said, I'm going to be drafting Landorus Therian, and yeah, I'm very excited to use this thing once again through a whole season. Should be nice. I'm going to be talking about some of the main positives throughout my picks and some of the flaws. So coming to some of the positives, Landorus Therian obviously is, in my opinion, probably the best Intimidate user in the format. Being paired with a bulky ground flying type is very nice. It's a Stealth Rock user, which is good right from the beginning. It's always nice to get plenty of those. It is one of my Z Captain users. With that being said, you do get 2 Z Captain users like I was talking about. And some of the good move pool moves it gets is like Earthquake, U-Turn, Knockoff, Outrage, Superpower, Fly, Swords Dance, Rock Polish, Stone Edge. And yeah, that's just some of the options. It can obviously run some special moves. I'll go over the stats for all these Pokemon as well. The HP for Landorus is 89, Attack 145, Defense 90, Special Attack 105, Special Defense 80, Speed 91. So all around pretty solid stats, and people really sleep on this thing. It's just base attack. So if you're bringing a defensive set with like Leftovers or Rocky Helmet, this thing still has a base 145 attack. It's still gonna be hitting hard. So Landorus Therian is there, and some of the flaws, obviously that 4x weakness to ice is something you can't really just go over. It is something I'll have to try to patch up throughout the draft. And then I was talking about another flaw in it, a little bit of a predictable Pokemon in my opinion. So if you're ever facing a Choice Scarf Landorus, for example, I could see that could be very predictable if you just U-turn out on a fast Pokemon right away, or if you set up Stealth Rocks right away, they'll obviously just assume you're defensive and whatnot. But that's Landorus. I really enjoy that pick. I think it'll be good for the team. Coming into my next pick, this is a mon I've always talked about drafting, and I finally got it. And it's another Steel type, one of the top Steel types. It is another tier 1. And coming with that is going to be Jirachi. I want to patch out Ice Weakness right away, and get another Stealth Rocker was nice to do it. Jirachi can be very versatile with base 100 stats, obviously across the board. Some of the main positives about it gets Serene Grace, which is really nice. It's a great offensive and defensive typing, being that I think Steel and Psychic is really solid defensively, but for Jirachi's sake, with base 100s across the board, I think offensively Steel and Psychic typing can be really nice. It'd be another Stealth Rocker, like I said. It is my Wish Passer of the team. I'll go ahead and let you know on that. I think it is my only Wish Passer, pretty sure, but it is a solid one at that if I run this thing like defensively or Spadef. And some of the great coverage this mon gets is Iron Head, Zen Headbutt, Elemental Punches being Thunder Punch, Ice Punch, Fire Punch. It gets Drain Punch, Play Rough, U-Turn, T-Bolt, Energy Ball, Ancient Power, Draco Meteor, and Healing Wish, etc. So really versatile mon. You never really know what to expect with this thing. Some of the main flaws, like any other Psychic type, they can be Pursuit Trapped, but that is something I'll have to watch out for. And then it's not a very reliable wall breaker. I say that because if I bring Jirachi and don't bring a bunch of my other wall breakers I have on this team, which I do have a couple, I'll have to remember that Jirachi's not really the best at wall breaking, because where it does have 100 attack and 100 Spadette or 100 special attack, it doesn't have the most powerful moves. It does have strong moves, but not the most powerful, so it's not the best wall breaker. It doesn't have many flaws, so I just have to write a couple things down. And coming to my next pick, this is something I've never used in League once again. This will be... I love using it in standard play a lot. It's probably my favorite of the... I guess I'll go ahead and get it out there. My favorite of the Tapus tied with Tapu Koko. So it's not Tapu Koko, but it is going to be Tapu Fini. It is a water type, so it gives me 2 mons right away to patch up the ice weakness for Landorus, which is really nice. Tapu Fini is good because it kind of gets rid of any water types or dark types really want to do too much to my Landorus or Jirachi, which is also really good. So I think it pairs really nice with these mons. And if you guys haven't been paying attention to my PC at all, I do have Serena and Alolan Sandslash as my hazard removal, so I wanted to get a good defogger spinner early on, and Tapu Fini fit the part perfectly. And you guys might be noticing that this is my 3rd tier 1 Pokemon, which the only way you can do that is if you select a tier 2 or tier 3 Mega. So with that being said, that kind of gives it away a little bit what it could be. Later in the draft you might understand it is my last pick in the draft, so you'll probably guess it before I get there, but yeah, that's Tapu Fini. And some of the main perks about Tapu Fini is Misty Terrain. I like Misty Terrain a lot for this team. I think I have a good amount of setup sweepers, which could be nice with Misty Terrain. Meaning, obviously, they can't get status, stuff like that, which is really solid. And this mon, like I was talking about earlier, patches my water and dark weaknesses. And some of the good moves this thing gets, it's kind of a shallow move pool, but it does get good solid moves, being Surf, Moonblast, Nature's Madness, Haze, Ice Beam, Calm Mind, both screens being Reflect and Light Screen, and then Whirlpool, which is really good for trapping certain ones. And some of the flaws, like I talked about, were the shallow move pool, and then no reliable recovery. So that being said, the best recovery this thing can get is Leftovers, and then Wish Passing for my Jirachi. So, and then the stats on this, we have HP at 70, attack 75, defense 115, special attack 95, special defense 130, speed 85. And with that being said, that is going to be my 3rd pick on the team, being Tapu Fini. So far, I like the way the team's looking. I really do. Coming into my next pick, I wanted to pick up a good utility mon, and it also gives me a 2nd defogger. And it will be one of my tier 3 picks, so I get another one after this if I choose to pick it right away. But that Pokemon is going to be Crobat. Now, Crobat's something I've never used in League once again. It's insanely fast, obviously. It's a really good utility mon with Taunt. I like that about it. Some of the main positives that we'll talk about again are Inner Focus and Infiltrator. I think both of its abilities are really good, Infiltrator especially. Just being able to go through subs is really nice. If a Pokemon's pretty low and weakened behind a sub, then you can just pick it off with your Crobat, which is really nice because it's so fast in general. Some of the more positives, you get 100% Toxics, which are nice, so you're never going to miss a Toxic if you do decide to bring that on this. Good recovery being Roost. It is really my first mon with great recovery. Jirachi does get Wish, but this is like turn 1, you get that recover right away. It patches my Grass and Bug weakness. I didn't really have a great Grass and Bug weakness because I had Jirachi, but it is a really solid switch into Grass and Bug types, which I like a lot. It's another defogger like that I talked about, and some of the good moves this thing does get is Brave Bird, Poison Jab, Heat Wave, Leech Life, U-Turn, Tailwind, Roost, Taunt, Nasty Plot, Super Fang, etc. So, and then the stats on Crobat are looking like this: HP 85, attack 90, defense 80, special attack 70, special defense 80, and the speed 130. So very fast mon. My team's looking, the speed tiers look pretty solid right now overall, I will say. It wouldn't hurt me to get a couple of slower things in like base 90s and stuff, and then maybe something to go in between my Jirachi and Crobat speed tiers. But with that being said, getting into my next mon, I picked up a really bulky mon, and it fits with the theme of my team later in the draft, you'll see. As I decided to go with Tangrowth, and you see the shiny Tangrowth on screen. I will be going with the shiny, and I don't currently have nicknames on all my Pokemon at the moment, but I'll go ahead and try to inform you guys with that later on. But Tangrowth. Coming to Tangrowth, I really like Tangrowth, something I've never used in League once again, but I think it could be really good. I love Regenerator Mons. It is probably one of my favorite abilities. So that brings me to the main positives on Tangrowth. The main positive with this is probably Regenerator. Like, it's very nice just to take a hit and pivot out. This is a really good Rocky Helmet user as well as a Assault Vest user. I like that a lot about Tangrowth. Some of the other positives it gets are Chlorophyll, which I guess I kind of gave some more away with that, but that's going to be helpful for. It could be very nice leading into like certain weeks of this league. It could be really cool. It's a very bulky mon. I explained that. Great utility, meaning like stuff like hidden powers can be very good on this thing because there's a 110 special attack stat along with a 100 physical attack. So basically any kind of moves can work really good on it. So knockoff is really good. Giga Drain, Sludge Bomb, hidden powers, gets Sleep Powder, Leech Seed, Solar Beam. Just other stuff like that, I guess. I don't really want to talk too much about it because I think Tangrowth could be really cool for me this season. I don't want to give everything away. but it does give me an offensive water answer, meaning I can actually hit water types for super effective damage, because my rest of my team couldn't really do the best for that, besides maybe Jirachi with coverage moves. And yeah, I like Tangrowth overall. The stats are looking like this: HP 100, attack 100, defense 125, special attack 110, special defense 50, and speed 50. So, and then I wrote down a couple flaws: bad special defense. Obviously, throw Assault Vest on there, it does kind of nullify that, but I don't want to run an Assault Vest every single week. And then this Pokemon can be setup fodder. I do have that on here. If there's ever a bulky setup mon going up against me, it can't, like a Reuniclus or maybe a bulky Zygarde set, depending on what kind of mon I'm dealing with. I do need to be careful with those kind of situations. So that will be my Tangrowth. That will be my Tangrowth. So really stoked about that pick. I think it'll fit really nicely on the team. It is a bulky grass type, and I think that's really nice to have on any type of team, to be honest with you. Coming into my next pick, this is my 6th pick in the draft, and this will kind of give you another hint of what Mega I'll be aiming for a little bit, but with my next pick, I will be picking up Heliolisk. Now, this gives me a fast electric type. A lot of people say those are very necessary for drafts. I think they're necessary, but I don't think they're always necessary, but I think they're really good to have, so. Yeah, with that being said, Heliolisk is going to come into effect right here, and yeah. So Heliolisk, some of the main positives about Heliolisk: I have solar power written down as my main ability, and you guys will be seeing why here in a little bit. But it does get things like Dry Skin and Sandveil as well. I believe Sandveil was the other one. Hope I'm not wrong on that, but Dry Skin can be very nice too for just the water switching in general. So it's really hard to predict this thing a lot of times, and it can be nice. It gets a Volt Turn. It gets Volt Turn, meaning it gets Volt Switch and U-Turn, which is really, really solid on my team, I feel like, because I have a lot of U-Turners so far, being my Landorus, Jirachi, Crobat, and now this. It's a fast electric type like I talked about. Some of the good moves this thing gets are Thunderbolt, Hyper Voice, Dragon Pulse, Signal Beam, Surf, Glare, and Dragon Tail. Obviously gets more than that, but it's mainly special hitters, so it's going to be a very hard-hitting special type for me, I feel like, this season. And definitely can have a good amount of utility to it, too. Yeah. And the stats on Heliolisk are looking like this: 62 HP, 55 attack, 52 defense, 109 special attack, 94 special defense, and 109 speed. So overall, pretty frail mon, I will admit. Some of the main flaws I actually have are shut down depending on the matchup. I have that written on there because the move pool isn't the most diverse, but it's not that shallow, but it can be shut down by certain Pokemon, and it is pretty frail. So that is 2 things I wrote down for the flaws, and that is going to be my Heliolisk. So yeah, really stoked about that pick. And get into my next pick. This kind of gives you the idea while I'm talking about Chlorophyll Tangrowth and Solar Power Heliolisk. I decided to pick up Torkoal. And Torkoal is something I've used in the past. Probably my favorite drought user, even over like Mega Charizard Y and stuff. I love this mon. Obviously, it's going to be really good for this team, I feel like. It gives me a Rapid Spinner on top of my 2 Defoggers already, so I have very good variety right there. And a Fire type to start that off. I have a Fire, Water, Grass core now. So, main positives about Torkoal: obviously Drought is going to be good for some of my Pokemon I have now, and possibly my Mega. I have Rapid Spin, like I was talking about, another Stealth Rocker, so I have, at this point, I have 3 Stealth Rockers, which is pretty solid as well. And it's a physically defensive tank, so meaning it can take so many hits on the physical side. Especially if it gets a Sun Up, it can actually 1v1 some water types, which is really nice. Some of the good move pools it gets is Lava Plume, or good move pool options. Good would be like Lava Plume, Earth Power, Clear Smog, Yawn, Sludge Bomb, Amnesia, Fire Spin, Solar Beam, and Explosion. Explosion, some people might think is pretty funny in the league, but it can be necessary at some points. Some of the main flaws for Torkoal is weak to hazards in general, pretty weak to like Stealth Rocks, obviously. Spikes plus T-Spikes can be annoying if it is your Rapid Spinner, because it is very slow. It'll have to come in on like those hazards and take a hit or something. So it's definitely weak to hazards, so I have to keep that in mind. And the stats on Torkoal are HP 70, attack 85, defense 140, special attack 85, special defense 70, and the speed 70, or 20, I'm sorry. And yeah, that's Torkoal. Yeah, I think it's an overall good mon for the team. I'm excited to use it again. I've used it with a core before, and that core kind of goes along with my Mega, so I've basically given it away at this point, and that is my last pick. So I'm just going to go ahead and get to my next pick at this point, and that is going to be Ambipom. Now this gives me a very, very strong normal type, and I think it's pretty cool in Draft League, especially a mon like this that has amazing coverage. And some of the main positives about this mon is its Technician ability, which is insane. It gives me my first priority user, which is Fake Out. Not the most reliable priority. Obviously, you can only use it once when you come in. Which is going to be really strong though, Technician and Fake Out. It's hard to find a switch into that unless you have a good Steel type or just a really bulky mon in general. This mon does get really good coverage. I'll talk about that here in a little bit. This also is my other Z Captain. So coming along with Landorus, Therian, we have Ampharos. I like that a lot. And yeah, some of the moves I want to talk about are Acrobatics. It gets all the elemental punches like Jirachi did. It gets Gunk Shot, Seed Bomb, Shadow Claw, U-Turn, Low Kick, Hone Claws, Foul Play are all very viable options, as well as Agility. I didn't write that down, but that's another solid one because it does get Baton Pass. So Ampharos overall I think is a solid mon. I think it could be a very good addition to the team. And some of the flaws I will talk about is it's a very frail mon to go along with Heliolisk, I will admit. And then sometimes this mon can be kind of checked or walled by certain Steel types depending on what they are and what they bring, like as far as EVs and stuff. But that's Ampharos. I think it'll be very nice to the team. And yeah, coming into, we have 3 more picks left, I believe. Yeah, we have 3 more picks left. Yeah. Okay. So coming with our next pick, I want to pick up a Ghost type, and we pick up Dusknoir. So Dusknoir overall, really cool mon. I've never really used it in Draft League format. Some of the main, let's get into the positives about it. It gives me a Frisk user, which I really like. Obviously, being able to scout out what that item is right away is really nice. Potentially a choice item mon could be nice to scout out. A Z user. I don't know if Frisk scouts out the Z move. It might just say nothing or something. But like, that won't be too huge. But scout out the item is very nice. As well as this gives me a second priority user being Shadow Sneak, which is pretty nice. And then this is a bulky Pokemon with Pain Split. Obviously the HP stat is pretty poor on this Pokemon, so Pain Split is very nice getting recovery for it. It also gets Will-O-Wisp and Memento, which could be really cool to go along with some of my setup mons right now I have, being like Landorus, potentially Tangrowth, and yeah. And the stats on Dusknoir are looking like this. The HP 45, attack 100, defense 135, special attack 65, special defense 135, and speed 45. So very slow mon, I will admit. But overall, I think it's good bulky and has good attack with priority, so it could be very nice there. Some of the flaws, it's not a good knockoff switch in at all. And then it has low HP, so obviously those are going to be 2 things I need to keep in mind going through with this team. Now, I have 2 picks left on this roster, and I still don't have a fighting type, so I'm going to go ahead and get into that, and that is going to be my tier. This is another one of my tier 5 mons. I kind of forgot to say the tiers off, so I'll say that at the end though. This is another tier 5 one. But yeah, Primeape. Picking up Primeape, I thought it was probably the best option for tier 5s left. It's not obviously the most ideal fighting type, but I think it's pretty solid for the team. Some of the main positive about it is it's a very good choice scarfer in my opinion. Depending on matchup, I think Primeape could be a very good choice scarfer. It's obviously a fighting type, which is another positive to my team right now, because I think having a fighting type could be very nice in general. Breaking down some bulky normals like Snorlax and Porygon 2 throughout certain teams could be nice. Good coverage, very good coverage. And yeah, good coverage being like, I think it's elemental punches. I forgot to write this one down, but it gets elemental punches, obviously fighting stab, gunk shot, knockoff, stuff like that. So really good. And then Defiant as its ability, which is very solid. If they're switching on a Defog with a Choice Scarf Primeape, that could be very devastating to another team. And some of the flaws, this thing can get hard countered. I have on here as a very, this thing can get hard countered very easily by like a Fairy or Psychic type. If I lock myself into a move, most of the time this Primeape will be Choice Scarf if I bring it. Not even gonna lie. And then this move, it does also get U-turn, which is very nice. And then the stats on Primeape are looking like this. HP 65, attack 105, defense 60, special attack 60, special defense 70, and the speed 95. So, really psyched to use Primeape. Never used it again, or never used it in this league like a lot of my mons. But anyways, coming into my Mega, if you guys have not guessed it by now, we're still missing a Dark type. It is another Fire type. So I just completely gave it away now. And that Pokemon is going to be Mega Houndoom. Sitting at tier 2 Mega, so really surprised it was sitting at tier 2 Mega. It usually is in most drafts, but if you pair it with Sun, I think this is probably one of the top 5 hardest Megas to switch into, in my opinion. This is not a fun Mega to switch into at all. Some of the main positive about Mega Houndoom, before you Mega Evolve, you obviously get Flash Fire, and then that's very nice. Once you Mega Evolve, this Pokemon abuses the Sun. With Solar Power paired with Torkoal, can be devastating some weeks. I don't even have to bring Torkoal for this mon to be a huge threat. I do have a couple other options on my team, being like Crobat with Sunny Day, Jirachi I believe gets Sunny Day, as well as Heliolisk. So Heliolisk, obviously I was saying with Solar Power can be very nice, because now I have 2 Pokemon with Solar Power. Tangrowth with Chlorophyll could be really nice. So yeah. This is a dark type on the team. I think it's a very essential to have a dark type on every team. And Mega Houndoom just fits the role perfectly on my team, I feel. And it gives me a 115 base speed, which is very nice on the team. And then this is another setup mon with Nasty Plot that can be very, very effective. And this mon does also get Destiny Bond, which is a really cool move because it kind of catches people off guard. So I might bring that every now and then, guys. Might have to watch out for that. And then some of my main flaws with Mega Houndoom is it's weak to hazards. Once again with Torkoal, obviously any like grounded fire type is going to be pretty weak to stealth rocks plus like spikes. And then this is a very frail physically defensive mon with I believe like 60, 70 some defense. Maybe it has 90. I don't know. Let me check. Oh, I'm sorry, it does have 90 defense and 90 special defense, so not the frailest. It's 75 HP, 90 attack, 140 special attack, which is going to be insane paired with solar power, and then 115 speed. So that is going to be the team, guys. All I can hope for is just have a good season. I feel this is probably one of my most comfortable teams I've like drafted ever, to be honest with you. So I'm very excited to be using it, and it should be a fun season. So thank you guys so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. If you did like the video, go ahead and leave a like. I would really appreciate it. It means a lot. I'm trying to get more content out as much as possible. And that will be it, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Peace.